Hello, Joy family. Welcome to the Joyful House. Come on. And welcome to Joy House Tea Party number 34. Excuse me. And just as I was literally going to go on to say hello, I had a visitor come in who's got their mouth full at the moment. Hello. This is my baby boy, Andrew.
Hi. I was giving her a hug before I scurried off. Sorry. Toodaloo.
So are you just coming to Newberry or are you just leaving?
I was just leaving.
You been here?
Yeah.
I heard a truck earlier, but you were in the.
I just finished Invincible.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was on the watch party.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too. All right. Never know what's going to happen here in the Joyful House. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone is doing well. And let's go see who else is at the front door waiting to come in the Joyful House. And we have an eagle that has landed. So if you will, help me give a great big joyful eagle welcome to our lovely Candy. Welcome in, Candy. So good to have you here. And she says, nuggies, nuggies. Hello, Miss Sweet Angela. She says hello to everyone in the chat. She's doing fine, drinking water, and she is working on her triangles. She is going to be making a blanket with those triangles. So exciting. Can't wait to see them. And, well, hello there, Ivy B. Nugs. So good to see you. She says hello to everyone. She says, gave a joy thumb hug. Oh, so sweet. Popping in and out. Well, so glad you're here. And I know you said you'll be popping in and out, but as you pop in and out, I do hope you find some joy here. We have another eagle that has landed. So if you will, help me give a great big joyful eagle welcome to our lovely Margie. Welcome in, Margie. Hope you're doing well. Margie, so sorry I did not make it to your house this afternoon. I had a choice. I could come to your house or I could have gone and got Mr. Joyful's help in folding. Well, actually, I folded all the laundry. I got his help putting it away. So I made the choice to use his help. Plus, he was grateful because that way he has a bed to sleep in tonight because I had them all folded up on the bed. All right. And Miss Margie is saying, nugs everyone. And hello, Dom P. Welcome in and nugs to you. So good to have you here. And everyone's giving nugs to Andrew and saying hello to Todd. I'll let Todd know. Hello, Miss Suzanne. Oh, he heard. He says hello, hello. Hello, Miss Suzanne. Welcome back to the Joyful House. And she said, my bad. Hello to Todd. To Andrew. Well, Todd will say hello too. And hello, Coastal Cruisers. So good to have you here. Welcome in. Says hello, everyone, and nugs, my friends. And everyone is continuing to say hello to each other. Thank you so much for that. We have another eagle that's landed. So if you will, help me give a great big joyful eagle welcome to our lovely Wanda. Welcome in, Wanda. Always good to have you here. And Wanda says hello and nugs, everyone. And with that, we are at the bottom of the chat. So if you guys will drop me some emojis, that will always help me find my way back into the chat. As you know, at our tea parties, we always have a lot going on. So the more help I can get, the better off it will be. As we get started here tonight, one of my favorite things to do is we come together and spend time together in the Joyful House. I know no matter where we're coming from, some of us have had some really great day, has had a great day. Some of us have had a tough day, but regardless, as we come together and spend time together, I do want us to find our joy. So if you will, join me as we express our joy tonight. All right. And I do hope that you will find your joy here tonight. You'll take some of that joy with you and continue living your joy. All right. We are going to head over to the party room so we can celebrate some birthdays. Just a reminder that if you don't think I know when your birthday is, let me know. You can either drop it in the chat, in a comment afterwards, or email me. That way we can celebrate with you during your... I got very, very small. We can celebrate your birthday with you during your special time. All right, this week we are celebrating birthdays with a couple folks, and we've got Laura from Crojo Mojo, Chandra with Gentle with a Smile, our sweet Paula Mulford, and Janice Urfer. So if you will, join me in singing happy birthday to these ladies. Wow. Happy birthday to them. And I'll explain what that wow was in just a moment. But I do hope that they are having a very, very special birthday and a great week. And this is the best birthday yet. I said wow because there was a big boom and obviously a transformer blew. So hopefully it's not one that's going to cause us to lose power. But hopefully no one loses power. But somebody did lose power if that was indeed a transformer. All right, we do have an anniversary to celebrate here in the Joyful House. So if you will, join me as we celebrate with Miss Tiffany. She is celebrating her 4 years of being a member on the Joy team. And currently at this moment, she has been on the Joy team the longest. So not only is she currently at the top of the Joy team, having had the longest time there, but she has been with the Joy family for quite some time. So happy anniversary to you, Tiffany, and thank you for all the love and support that you give and bring to not only the Joyful House, but here to the Joyful family as well. Because the Joyful House would not be what it is without each and every one of you. And so with that, I have a gift for everyone that is here and everyone that is a part of the Joy family, even if they're not here right now. This is for all of you. All right, I have one more group of people that I would like to celebrate while we're here in the party room. And these are some folks that have been gifted memberships by the channel. So if you will, join me in recognizing our newest Joy team members. They are Bridget from Queen's Crafts by Bridget, Miss Gwen from Mama Knows Best, Mariana from Crochet and More by Nana, Miss Jax from Jaxie May Stitching and Things, Harper, Diana from Daigo Crochet and Crafts, Lisa Gillette, I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, Miss Cindy from the Crocheter A, and Allie from Allie Artifacts, and then Death of Philippel Auguste. And again, I apologize if I have mispronounced any of those. Certainly is not my intention. I think names are very important and very valuable. So if I have mispronounced those, if ever you get an opportunity to correct me, please, please do. But if you will, join me in celebrating these new Joy team members. Thank you, Suzanne. She is letting me know that Lisa's name is pronounced just like the Gillette razor. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. That's very important to me. So now I know. Thank you, Suzanne. And thank you to all of you that were wishing all of our friends that are celebrating birthdays a happy birthday, and celebrating Tiffany's anniversary with her, and welcoming in all of our new Joy Team members. All right. And with that, we're going to head back over to the tea party room. And I am going to go ahead and get my tea ready. I have heated the water up already. My pitcher is very full, so it is very heavy. But you can see the steam at the top there. So I'm going to pour that in. But before I do, the mug that I chose tonight is Make Time for Joy. I chose this mug for a very important reason, and you'll see the theme of this throughout the evening tonight. But I find that I tend to make time for everything else, but sometimes the last person on the list is myself. And right now, especially as I'm getting ready to head into the week that you guys gracefully allow me to take off every month on the channel, I'm going to make sure that I am truly making time for myself and for the joy that makes me happy. And I hope that you'll do the same. So make time for joy. So let me go ahead and get this poured. And then I'm going to tell you what kind of tea I'm going to have tonight. And then I'm going to give you a little bit of knowledge on that tea. Let me get this pitcher put back over on the stand. All right. Because if I were to talk and move my hands, I would probably hit it, and it's very hot. I did it extra hot because tonight the tea that I'm going to be drinking is an oolong tea. And with oolong tea, it's very, very important that you get your water hot enough to fully steam it and allow it to seep. But it says that this is a uniquely blended for a warm and savory tea. It is pure oolong tea. And just to let you know, there is a little bit of caffeine in these teas. This is one of the teas that I got from my Joy Team sister Angel. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that in and let it start seeping. And I want to tell you, this is the first time to my knowledge that I'm actually drinking an oolong tea. And so I took a moment to go and look up oolong and what exactly is oolong tea. And oolong tea is a traditional semi-oxidized Chinese tea that is made from the Camellia sinensis plant. It says falling perfectly between an unoxidized green tea and a fully oxidized black tea. So that means that it does have a little bit of caffeine in it. It's not a full caffeine tea, but it does have a little bit. And it says it offers a diverse range of complex flavors and aromas. So let me see. There's a little bit of an aroma, but my water is really hot too. So a lot of what I'm catching is that smell of steam. So maybe as it cools, I can smell more. So we'll try it again in a minute. It's turning my water kind of like a medium brown color, and I'll show it to you again. I'll show it to you as well in just a moment. But anyway, some characteristics of oolong tea is, I thought this was very interesting. The leaves are withered in the sun, and then they're lightly bruised to promote that natural enzymatic oxidation. And it says then they're fired and rolled into distinct tight balls or long strands. So I found that to be fascinating and interesting. When it comes to flavor, it says it's highly dependent on its oxidation levels. Lightly oxidized oolongs are delicate and floral, which means they're similar to the green tea, while your darker roasts are rich and woody, and this is supposed to be a woody one, and they're sweet with toasted or kind of a fruity note. But then it says that they're naturally caffeinated. They typically contain 30 to 60 milligrams of caffeine per cup. A little bit more than I prefer, because y'all know I really like decaffeinated teas. But, you know, every now and then it's okay to get a little bit of happy and splurge. But that caffeine in it, that naturally caffeinated caffeine, gives it a great mid-range between, again, that gentle green tea, and it says a robust coffee. So I'm very interested to see how this is going to taste. All right. The last thing I wanted to share that I looked up is what are some of the health benefits of oolong tea? And it says, like green and black teas, oolong contains vital polyphenols and antioxidants, and many drinkers consume it to support their metabolism and their general mental alertness. And it says that scientists are still trying to find proof on whether or not it helps with weight loss and medical conditions. So they're still actively studying those, but for sure, they know that it helps boost metabolism and general mental alertness. And if anybody knows me, they know that I can definitely use both of those. So, all right, let's take a look at this real quick. It's getting a little bit darker the more it seeps. Okay, it's got a very strong tea smell. And it's funny because when it calls it a little woodsy, I can smell a little bit, but it's still really hot. Like I can't even touch the mug. It's too hot. But I don't know if you can see. Oh yeah, y'all can see that a little bit without me pouring it out. It's kind of dark in flavor, which makes sense because with it being that woodsy kind, it's more on that robust. It's got about 30 to 60 milligrams of caffeine in it. So I would expect it to be a little bit on the darker side, but definitely going to have to let that cool. So we're going to put that to the side, and I'm going to head over to the chat, and then we'll move on to spilling the tea. What good news do we got to share here in the Joyful House? All right, let's see here. Whoo, yay. Looking for those emojis. And Angela, thank you very much. I found it. Appreciate that. Some emojis with Dawn and Suzanne wishing happy birthdays to everyone and Tiffany's anniversary. So I thank you guys for that. It was very, very helpful. All right. Oh, you're so sweet, Dawn. Thank you. Welcome to a wonderfully supportive group. I'm glad you said that. In fact, I'm going to star your message because I have a little bit of something that I'm going to talk about later on. And that comment, I'd like to come back to it. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that so much. All right. And Coastal Cruiser says, oolong tea is my favorite. Well, I'm about to see if it's my thing or not, my cup of tea. No pun intended. But thank you for sharing that. Coastal Cruisers, is there a first name that we can call you by, or do you want us to call you Coastal Cruisers? Another eagle has landed, so if you will, help me give a great big joyful eagle welcome to our lovely Tiffany. Welcome in, Tiffany. And if you're not certain what an eagle is, there are 4 tiers on the Joy team. That is my paid memberships. I don't like calling them memberships, just like I don't like calling you guys subscribers. Y'all are Joy family. And the Eagles are the top 2 tiers on the Joy team. So that's what that is all about. And welcome in, Tiffany, by the way. And I'm going back and looking for her little comment where she comes in and says hello to everyone. And I scrolled too far. And there we go. And she says, hello, Miss Cynthia and everyone. Well, welcome in, Tiffany. So good to have you. Nugs, nugs. Candy says, I will not be trying that tea then. And Coastal Cruiser says, that sounds so good. She says, I made blackberry jam today and going to make some strawberry jam tomorrow. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. So good. And how nice and rewarding that you're making that homemade from scratch. That's going to make it taste even better. Enjoy, enjoy, my friend. All right. And Tiffany says, today has been a good and slightly emotional day. My nephew was promoted from fifth grade, and he's the last kid at the elementary school that I have been affiliated with for the last 12 years. Oh, wow. I guess that is a great thing, but also I can understand the emotions. But how exciting. Congratulations to him. Hello, Miss Doris. Welcome in. How are you? She says, hello, everyone. I don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to come in and say hi and leave my joy thumb. Oh, well, thank you so much. Extra nugs to you. Thank you for coming in, though, and allowing us to love on you. Take a little joy with you when you go. I bet. She says, so many teacher goodbyes. Milestones. They're fun and exciting, but they can also be hard at the same time. Those growing pains. Everyone is still saying hello to everyone. Thank you for that. Please don't stop. She says, then my niece was promoted from the 8th grade and she is headed to high school. Wow, 2 major milestones today. That is fantastic. And again, Tiffany has given nugs to everyone. Wanda says, maybe I should try that tea. I need something to boost my metabolism. Well, again, no promotion anywhere. I don't get any credit for this, but it is Twinnings. Now, this is a box of variegated tea. Not variegated, that's yarn. Variety of teas. But it is, Twinnings does sell it. And it just says pure oolong. I'm sure there's all kinds of varieties of oolong teas. I'm sure anyone can tell who I am when they look. So, I did know that. I did know that. And I see your picture, but it's really hard to see. Miss Bridget, you know I love you, my friend. I am not familiar with this channel name. So forgive me. Forgive me. Glad you're here, my friend. I definitely am sending some extra hugs your way. I started to say something, but I'm just going to save that towards the end. Okay. Let's see. Everyone's still loving on each other. You guys, please don't stop. Please don't stop. Miss Dawn P says, hey, Miss Bridget, my sweet South Carolina sister. I hear you. Isn't that the truth? And she's giving nugs back to everyone. And Miss Wanda's giving nugs to Dawn. And with that, I'm at the bottom of the chat again. So you guys, if you'll help me out and put some emojis in the chat, that will help me out as I continue to go through all that we've got to go over tonight. And she says, I got a special candle just for you, Miss Cynthia, about to cast the first candle with it. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see. Oh, that's so sweet. So sweet. Thank you, Miss Margie, for those emojis. Okay, with that, it is time for us to spill some tea. So if you're ready to spill some tea with me, then here we go. The first thing that was on the agenda tonight, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you. If y'all remember the little metal plane that I showed y'all last week that was made out of a spark plug that I found at Goodwill, I told you that for tonight, I would show you guys some metal works of art that Todd's grandfather had made out of bolts and screws and all kinds of different metal things. he went to go get those for me. They used to be on our shelf. I mean, on the shelf that ran around our front screened-in porch. But he had moved them and put them away so that they could stay protected. But he doesn't remember where he stored them. So he said that he will try to make a mental note and try to see if he can remember where he put them so that they would stay well protected. And when he finds them, I will show them at that time. So he and I both apologize that we did not have those ready to share tonight. All right, moving on to the next thing. I got some happy mail over the last week since we were last together, and I haven't started it yet. It is a book that I received. It's called The Hidden Messages in Water, and I have not started it yet. I'm trying to actually finish the little devotional book that I'm reading, because that's what I'm currently reading in my reading time that I allow myself to read. I have to very much put myself on a schedule. If I don't, then just some things won't get done because I would sit and crochet all the time. But this is going to be my next read. But I got this in, and I want to say thank you to Kim from Southern Winter for this beautiful gift. I am very excited to read this. She gave me a little gist of what it is, but it's a philanthropist and scientist that studied water and the crystals of water. And basically, when you write something positive and you put it up against the bottle of water, the crystals form in a certain way. And so that's what all of these pictures are throughout it. And I'm not going to pretend to have the knowledge of what I'm talking about because I haven't read it. But certainly as I do, I will share, some really important highlights that I pick out from it. So I'm very, very excited to jump into this. I'm just showing you different forms of those water crystals. But again, it just goes again to say, and I've heard this other places too, that the vibrations that we put out is what we get back. So if we put out positive thoughts, we have a lot of positivity in our life. If we put out negativity, then we get negativity back. And that makes so much sense. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. If we find ways to be happy and find our joy, then we're certainly going to see and feel and experience more happiness and happy times and joyful times. So I am very, very excited to read this. It's called, again, The Hidden Messages in Water, and it's by, y'all know how names are so important to me, and I know I'm going to mess this name up. Masaru Emoto. Masaru Emoto. There it is right there. But very excited. The back of it says, The Hidden Messages in Water is magnificent. Through his genius photography and superb scientific skill, Dr. Masaru Emoto has created a book that is truly a mystical treasure. His contribution to research in spiritual consciousness is positively masterful. And that was from Caroline Miss from Sacred Contracts and Anatomy of the Spirit. And then from Marcus Locks, who is an editor of Naturally Well Today, says, as with Galileo, Newton, and Einstein, Dr. Emoto's clear visions help us see ourselves and our universe differently. Science and spirit unite, resulting in a profound and undeniable quantum leap in how we view our world and how we reclaim our health and create peace. Well, that's right up my alley right there. And then Noelle Nelson, the co-author of The Power of Appreciation, says, Dr. Emoto's work with water beautifully illustrates the healing power of love and gratitude. These building blocks of appreciation support our well-being in body, mind, heart, and soul. The Hidden Messages in Water is the most valuable contribution to the creation of a positive future for our world. And then it just says that the Hidden Messages in Water introduces the revolutionary work of internationally renowned Japanese scientist Masaru Emoto, who has discovered that molecules of water are affected by our thoughts, our words, and our feelings. And since humans and the earth are composed mostly of water, his message is one of personal health, global environmental renewal, and a practical plan for peace that starts with each one of us. So thank you so much, Kim, for that. I am very, very excited to start reading that and definitely improving my well-being, my orbit of the world that I live in. So, all right. The next Spill the Tea news I have, and let me kind of glance at the chat too, so that I am commenting as we go. Thank you guys for those emojis. It has definitely helped me stay right where I need to be. I will share it with you when I'm finished. She says, I would like to read that book. Doesn't that sound fun and exciting? All right. So I know you're kind of starting to see some changes that are very subtle happening on the channel. Don't fret, anyone, because all the major things are still happening. I've really done some reflection time and going back to my mug, make time for joy. I'm trying to truly be more conscientious about my time and about giving myself, I don't know if he was talking to me or not, giving time to myself as much as I am willing to give it to others. So with that being said, at the beginning of the year, I told y'all that my goal was to work smarter, not harder. Well, I seem to be a glutton for punishment because I feel like I really try to work harder instead of smarter. But I'm trying. I am trying. So one of those things that I'm changing up, and you saw a post go out yesterday about the watch parties for movie night. There's another one going out in the morning for Reel It In on Sundays with The Chosen. But if you've not been to any of those in the last 3 months, then I am removing your name from that list. You know, the rule is once you sign up, you'll automatically get an email invite until that series is over with, and then you have to re-sign up. Well, some of you guys have not been there for 3 months. And so that means every week I'm sending you an email, and that means every week you're having to delete an email. So unless you want to remain on that list, if you've not been to one of those events in 3 months, I'm just automatically removing you from that list. But again, if you don't want to be removed and things are about to change and you're going to come back, then that's fine. As far as movie night goes, after tomorrow night, we only have 5 more episodes to finish the series. 3, because tomorrow night we do episode 5, and then we have 6, 7, and 8. But to complete the whole series for season 15, we also have the 2 Christmas specials. So after tomorrow night, we've got 5 more times to meet. And then a new series will start over anyway, and everybody will have to re-sign up. But I'm just trying to clean up house a little bit and make things a little bit easier. So that is that. Also want to share with you that on Monday, June the 1st, the new playlist post will go out. It is also going to look a little bit different. I usually have about 18 openings every month for playdates. I have 12 that are automatically filled month after month. So that leaves about 6 playdates left. I have 3 people that are not of those every month fill-ins that here and there come in for a playdate. So again, then that only leaves 3 if they fill in those 3. The long short of it is, rather than posting all the ones that I'm doing, whether they're available or unavailable, instead of doing that, because when I finish a play date with someone, I go ahead and schedule it for the next month with them. So they're already on the books for the following month. So realistically, the only play dates that matter are the ones that have not been filled. But this is the thing. I can be more flexible than the dates and times that I give. I just give those to kind of work around my lives and my scheduled work time for my behind the scenes stuff. But it doesn't mean that I can't work around those times and work with someone's schedule. So starting on Monday for the month of June, what you're going to see is a reminder that if you want a play date and you don't already have one scheduled, then just reach out to me and I will be happy to work with your schedule and my schedule and get one. And that is one through Zoom or one in person if you're close enough. So you're going to see that a little bit different. But then still custom to around the 15th of the month, I will put out another reminder that, hey, the month is coming to a close. So if you've not had a play date and you want one, then, go ahead and reach out to me. But again, that's just trying to work smarter and not harder, because there's no sense in putting out when they are not available anymore because they're not available. So that's a lot of work for me to type all that in, and it doesn't do you any good. So less is more sometimes. So that is another change that you're going to see. If you did not notice, there was no crafts table talks yesterday. And that is because at this point in time, I am not going to be continuing the craft table talks. I know that that is a segment that is fairly new. It's only been going on for about 5 months. But I started that segment in dedication to my sister who wanted to learn how to crochet and knit. She's got so much new stuff that has come into her life that she honestly is not crocheting and knitting. And so right now that is not benefiting her. And I understand, trust me, that there are more that were benefiting from that than just her. But hello, Samantha, welcome in. But there's a lot of work that went into those segments. I think the quickest segment preparation that I had for one of them was 2.5 hours. The most time that I put in for one of those segments, it was 8.5 to 9 hours. That's a lot of time. That's a huge chunk of time. That's a day's worth of work for just one segment. And that includes the research, the making the video, all the clips to go with it, making it, editing it into a video, making it a video, condensing it down so it doesn't pull all your internet, and then uploading it to YouTube. So that's what all that entails. I'm not saying that it's going away forever. There may be times that I want to work on something, and when I get it done, then I'll pop it up. I don't really know. I don't want to say that it's going away forever, but it's definitely not going to happen week after week, and it'll be probably sometime before it comes back at all. So just wanted to put that out there. All right, got a lot of comments coming through, so let me acknowledge them before we go on to the next thing. All right, so let me come back up here. And Bridget was saying very much fits in how I believe and try to live. I thought you might like that book as well. I'm grateful that Kim kind of thought a little outside of the box for me and put that in my hands. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Doris says that she would love to read that book. So I will definitely give you guys some insight as I start reading it and let you know what I'm learning as well. And since there seems to be such a positive reaction to it, I will include it in the giveaway. So I will slide that into one of the envelopes as a possible giveaway. All right. Samantha says, just got done with my message. I'm not sure what that means, but congratulations that you got it done. All right. And she's saying hello to everyone. And I can't remember if I said hello when you first walked in, but hello, sweet and beautiful Jen. So good to see you. Margie, you're so sweet. She dropped me some more emojis. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You know I need help always. All right. And Nightbot's having fun with Jen, welcoming her in. Thank you, Angela, for those emojis. So very helpful. All right. The last bit of channel news that I have to share, it includes another change, but at least it's not something going away. And the only thing that went away was Craft Table Talks. And like I said, I'm not saying at this time that is forever gone, but it's definitely on the back burner. The other things, I just was cleaning house. That's all. But Crafts of the Heart. Hello, Renee. Welcome in. Nugs. So good to see you. Thank you for bringing some joy over to the Joyful House. Definitely hope you will grab a little bit more while you're here as well. Miss Terry is here. Nugs. How are you? Happy Thursday. Crafts of the Heart. So I have come to the conclusion that trying to get all of my projects done, and I have 4 that I try to do Monday through Friday. That is the Mystery Make-Along with the Joy Team, the Harvest Friendship Blanket with the Joy Team, and then both of my projects, project number 5 and 6 of Crafts of the Heart. That's a lot of projects. And so it doesn't leave a lot of time for any just relaxing crochet. So oftentimes I find myself getting more done over the weekends because there's no stress. There's no things that have to be done on the channel. I can literally relax and enjoy the company of my family while I'm working on my projects. So having that extra time over the weekend, I thought, well, I am sure that I am probably not the only one who feels that way. So I reached out to all of those that are actively participating in Crafts of the Heart, and I sent them an email earlier at the beginning of this week. And I told them that from this point going forward, instead of having their pictures in by 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday, they have to have them in by noon on Monday. And then that Crafts of the Heart video will air on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So it was airing at 1 o'clock on Saturdays, but now it's going to air at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. So you'll not see a Crafts of the Heart this coming Saturday. It will come out next Wednesday on June the 3rd. And so they have a little bit of extra time this go round to get their pictures in by Monday. If you're not familiar with what Crafts of the Heart is, I encourage you, if you never participate in anything on my channel, I encourage you to do that because it is literally something for yourself. Y'all, I'm not going to lie to you. Mr. Joyful just got through taking a bath and he sprayed some cologne, and the Joyful house is smelling mighty fine right now. It is a huge distraction. Did you hear me?
No.
You have completely distracted me with that cologne smell. I'm just like all in the head now. I can smell it. I hope I can whiff it over to y'all. Anyway, yes, I can smell it. I can't see, can't hear, but I sure can smell. Anyway, where was I at? Crafts of the Heart. It is an opportunity for you to set aside some time every week to work on a project that you've always wanted to work on. If you're like me, I've always said, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I have bought several patterns, and I still have those designers reaching out to me saying, do you have any questions? Have you started it? And I finally had to be honest with them and say, look, I like the pattern. I bought it. But at this time in my life, things are so busy and crazy. I don't know when I'm going to start it, but I promise you I'll reach out to you the moment I do. Well, this eliminates that. It allows you to pick that project and decide, okay, I'm going to give at least 15 minutes minimum to 2 hours maximum. And then once that time is reached, whatever you've set for yourself, then that's it. You put it down and then you walk away until next week. But before you completely put it down, take a picture and send it to me so I can share it out with our Joy family and put some joy into their viewing as they get to watch your project grow the same way you do and the same way I do. So that is what Crafts of the Heart is about. And I do encourage you to be a part of that. So yeah. So that is moving to Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when it will air out to the channel. And deadline to have pictures in is at noon Eastern Standard Time on Mondays. All right. Everyone is saying hello and nugs to you, Mr. Joyful. Oh, he's got his headphones on. Yep, I was talking to you. Everyone is saying hello and nugs. If you want to come say hi with your clean self, your clean, good smelling self. Go, Mr. Joyful. Oh.
That is the general purpose of the bath.
Is to get clean. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my gosh. Woo. Hubba hubba.
Hello.
Me too, Margie. I really am. She says she's enjoying her Crafts of the Heart project. And Miss Margie, I'm actually glad you said that. I'm going to leave your and they're all saying hello to you. Miss Doris, Tiffany, Samantha, Dawn P, Suzanne. I don't want to miss anybody. Margie, Renee. Oh, nope, Renee didn't. But anyway, they're all saying hello to you. So that leads me into my next piece of news to share. I've had a couple people either ask me over the phone or in an email why Miss Margie keeps showing up on some of my videos and lives, and yet she's not a part of it. And the reason is, if you'll remember last fall, I put out a video saying that I was going to start collabing with 4 other content creators. One of them was Miss Margie, and then the other 3, it really doesn't matter because I'm not collabing with them, and not because of any tiff or anything like that. Just 2 of them are not even going live anymore. They're not even putting out videos. And then the other one just stays so busy that they're doing, it's everything that they can do to get their own lives and videos out, that it just isn't working for them. And that's fine. I completely understand. But Miss Margie and I are still collabing of those 4. Now, when you think of collab, you think of people coming together, working on a project for a means, for something in the end, and they are doing it together. They're presenting it together. And that is true. That is what collaboration is all about. But YouTube has come up with this other way that content creators can collab together. And that is when we collab and you see both our names on it, that means that those videos or those lives are not only going into the host. So for example, if they're my videos and lives, they're not only going out to my family feed, but they also are going out to Margie's. And Margie is doing the same thing. She is collabing with me. And so there are videos that she'll send me or lives, and I will collab on them. And again, that means that those videos and lives that she's put out, they're not only going out to her family, but because I'm collabed on there, they're also coming to you and they're available for you to watch. And all that does is it helps support those content creators. It helps to get their content into more viewing homes. And so that's what that is all about. Now, that is not to say that maybe somewhere down the road, Miss Margie and I don't collab together and do a project together, because we may very well do it. But anyway, I wanted to kind of re-stress the clarification of what that means. So if you are seeing her name, but not seeing her face up on screen, that's what that is all about. It is helping to share my content with her viewing family, and then to share her content with all of you. And so you kind of get more for the price of one. So that's what that's about. All right. Checking on the chat. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And I think I told him that, Candy. Candy said hello to Mr. Joyful. Candy, and also Angela, and And Samantha did earlier. All right. Dawn says, I'm going to start a Crafts of the Heart project when we get back from this next trip. I'm excited. Oh, I'm excited. Well, I can't wait. And I might even have something. Yes, looking forward to it. Love to see it. All right. And the thing about it is, too, I know some say, well, gosh, it's hard for me to even consider trying to spend so much little time, even 15 minutes a week. It is okay if you miss a week. Stuff happens. If I go on vacation, I'm probably taking a project. Who am I telling the story to? But it's okay because sometimes you take a vacation with family and you don't have time to do something like that. Or you've got to take so much other stuff that the last thing you can take is a bunch of projects. So it is okay if you miss a week, or maybe you're not feeling well, or maybe work calls you in and you do a bunch of double shifts or something. Whatever. The kiddos have a lot of activities and you have to miss a week. It is okay. It is okay. In fact, my next Crafts of the Heart, and I understand I got a lot of time that I could get more done, and I might. But at this current time, one of my projects, I only put an hour into instead of my normal 2 hours. And that's okay. I've got between that 15 minutes and that 2 hour window. And it just so happens I finished something up in about an hour and 10 minutes, and I decided to stop. But I'm fixing to tell y'all why, because my attention is on a whole nother project that I've created into a hot mess, and I'm about to show you that in a minute. I am still also working on Stranger Things, Samantha. In fact, I have a play date, and I'm just going to leave it at that, that I'm going to work on that project, and someone's going to be with me, and they are going to encourage me to work those multiple rows of white single crochets. All right. I can talk to you about that on our next play date. I'll try to make a note. You also, since you're interested, if you'll make a point of writing it down and asking me about it, I'll be happy to answer that on our next play date. All right. I'm at the bottom of the chat, so if you'll drop me some more emojis. All right. Let's go take a look at our poll for this week. And I don't know if it was YouTube. It could have been me. Y'all, I've been so overwhelmed, but I'm good now. I've cleaned house. I've done my spring cleaning, both physically, mentally, and emotionally. So it could have been me, but when this poll went out, an hour later, the answer went out. Some of y'all saw it, some of you didn't. But, hey, it is what it is. But this was our poll for this week. This is poll number 27. And it says, I love a good sandwich. And I do. I've grown up on sandwiches. Sandwiches to me are go-to foods a lot of times, especially in the spring and the summertime. But it says, which sandwich is my least favorite? My least favorite. Now, there's a lot of sandwiches that are not up there that I enjoy. But I did put tomato, cucumber, tuna, and deviled egg. These are some of my quick go-tos. Also, peanut butter and jelly. Y'all, I love a good peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Nothing like a good peanut butter and jelly sandwich. In fact, ended up having one for lunch today. Well, sort of. It was more my afternoon snack. Angela can testify. I had 2 hard-boiled eggs and a little cup of cottage cheese. And by the time I was done with that, I was so full I couldn't eat my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But I did have it as an afternoon snack, Angela. But anyway, 50% of you said tomato. 19% said that cucumber is my least favorite. Nobody chose tuna. And 31% chose the deviled egg. All right. Y'all know I love to read the comments to y'all. So Angela says, Cynthia is tomato sandwich, but I also like a tomato sandwich. So I don't know if you were thinking that was my favorite. You're voting on my least favorite, but she does like a good tomato sandwich. Tiffany says, I'm going to say tomato sandwich would not be a favorite of yours out of these choices. That certainly wouldn't be my first choice out of these options. It just seems too plain to me. I'd rather have a cucumber sandwich with maybe some cream cheese and maybe a tomato on the side with a little salt and pepper. Now that sounds refreshing on a warm summer day. I agree with you. I love tomatoes and cucumbers with just a little bit of salt and pepper. More pepper than salt. I'm not a salt girl. That's a future poll, y'all. Y'all better remember that. All right. Cream cheese, Tiffany. I have never had cream cheese on a cucumber sandwich. So that is something worthy of trying. So thank you for sharing that and that suggestion. Miss Margie says, I would say tomato would be your least favorite. I know that it's mine next to cucumber. I like tuna and deviled egg sandwiches. So it's interesting. We've got a pattern going here. A lot of people think that tomato would be my least favorite. And she says she knows that's hers next to the cucumber. But she does love the good tuna and deviled egg. Thank you so much, Margie, for sharing. Miss Wanda says, even though you've already posted the answer, she says she's staying with the cucumber sandwich. Oopsie. Oh, I got something for that. I got something for that, Wanda. How about this? Here we go. Oopsie whoopsie. And she's right. That answer did post an hour after this did. But luckily, I was able to get it down. But it was still like 19 hours later. So for 19 hours, the answer was up there. But anyway, she said she thinks it's the cucumber sandwich. She says, looks like this posted 1 hour before you posted the answer. All right. Miss Kim says, I have no doubt it's tomato is my least favorite. And then Jen says, your posting came out weird. I answered because you posted, but I wanted to say that I like tomato sandwiches the best. So Jen does like a good old tomato sandwich. Well, thank you guys so much for participating in that poll and sharing. And I'm going to be honest with you, I forgot to set the poll up in the chat. So I am going to work on that. But while I do, we're gonna move on because I don't want to hold you up. So I'll get that set up in the chat. I knew there was something I was forgetting, but I started on time, y'all. I did start on time. Got a lot of folks answering. Love peanut butter and jelly, says Renee. Tiffany says, I did not see the answer. I've not posted the answer yet because I'm going to ask it in the, oh, y'all, you didn't see it when it posted? Oh, well, good. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad. Margie says, never saw the answer. Good. I got it down. Jen says she saw the answer first. All right. Terry says she didn't see the answer either. Whew, good. Thank you, Wanda. Wanda's the one who let me know that it was out there. So I appreciate that. Tiffany says she loves a good PB&J, right? Terry says PB&J sourdough. Oh, yum. Yes, yes. Miss Dora says, I love PB&J, but my favorite is ham and turkey with tomato and mayo and lettuce. Like I said, there were so many other sandwiches I could have put out there, but the polls only allow you 4 answers. And so I was just like, oh, I wish I could always put more answers, but yeah, it doesn't work that way. All right. I'm going to try to do both of these at the same time. I'm going to read comments and try to get in here, but let me make sure that this is not going to speak. It might speak. I was able to mute it. Cool, cool, cool. All right. All right. So I'm going to work on both of these at the same time. All right. Miss Doris says, I am not a fan of cucumbers at all. And Tiffany says, I'm going to have to head out for now. My son, niece, and nephew are enjoying the end of the school year party at their youth center, and it's about time to pick them up. Well, thank you for being here. I'll make sure that I let you know what that answer is, Tiffany. Plus, it'll post tonight. It'll be on the community post later tonight. She says, I'll come back and watch the rest of this live later this evening. Perfect. Doris says, I didn't see any posts, but it's been a very busy, crazy week. And now my daddy is back in the hospital. Oh, no, Doris. Well, definitely we'll be praying for him. Let me grab my prayer journal right here. And let me add that down. Today is the 28th. All right. I will be praying for that, Doris. Thank you for sharing. Samantha said she saw the answer. Tiffany says, have a great evening, everyone. Nugs and love to you all, and see you tomorrow night. Absolutely. I'm not going to put the whole thing in there. I'm just going to put the answers that you have to choose from and just put which is my least favorite sandwich. I'm not going to put the whole thing. I like sandwiches, especially in the spring and summer. Is my least favorite. All right. Next comment. Let's see how well I can multitask. Thank you guys for hugging Tiffany out. I do appreciate that. Wanda says, my favorite is a tomato sandwich and mayo sandwich with salt and pepper. I so badly, even when y'all answer, I always want to comment and either agree or disagree. But of course, I cannot. And even now, I cannot just yet. But I've almost got this done. So y'all can start voting on it. All right, here we go. It is going out. So if y'all will go ahead and start on that. And Miss Samantha says she will be at movie night tomorrow night. I'm glad. Exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Miss Wanda says hello to Samantha. Jen says hello to Wanda. Wanda says, sorry, not chatting much. Working on another market bag. I hear you, my friend. I hear you. But she says hello to Jen. And Samantha says her foot is doing so much better. That is good to hear. I will definitely have to update my prayer journal on that, Samantha. Thank you for letting me know. Dawn says cucumber would be my least favorite, but a good thick slice of tomato sandwich straight from the garden is amazing. I so want to answer. I hope y'all are answering that poll. Thank you, Miss Margie. She also added Doris's dad to her prayer journal. I appreciate that. I'm sure Doris does as well, Margie. And Miss Terry saying hello to Wanda. And Samantha says, I got my message. Nice, nice, good. Sorry, didn't mean to highlight that from Nightbot. All right, I'm at the bottom of that. I'm going to let you guys continue to answer that poll. We'll come back to it. So at this point in time, we're going to move forward to our joy word for the night. And remember, the joy word is simply a word that I want to give to you that you reflect on until we come together again at the next tea party. But let it be just a word that just helps encourage you and inspire you throughout the week, but also just sharing. Even though we're doing giveaways on the channel differently, I still encourage you to use the word in a sentence, in a comment. In fact, I encourage you to comment after every live and on each video, because you never know where the random giveaway is going to come from. And it could very well be from those comments. So if only a few people answer, then you have a great chance of winning. But if more people answer, then you have a great chance also of still being chosen. So with that being said, this is our joy word for tonight. Our joy word is courage. Courage. Love that little rock I was able to find with the word courage on it. But courage is the choice to act in the face of fear or uncertainty or intimidation. It is also the mental strength to move forward and do what is right despite the risk. All right. Courage is also the choice and willingness to confront agony, pain, danger, uncertainty, or intimidation. And the greatest thing about courage is courage means bravery. It means valor. All right. There are 4 ways that you can manifest courage. You can do it physically by taking action to confront physical pain or bodily danger. The second way that you can manifest courage is in a moral sense, and that is to stand up for your ethical beliefs, speaking truth to power, even when it threatens your social standing or likelihood. Now, I did not know this. There is something else I'm going to be sharing in just a moment. And I had already chosen the word courage as our joy word. I'd already done the research that I'm sharing with you now. But that moral courage right there is going to go along with what I have to share. Something that I have observed that I want to comment on. But it is standing up for ethical beliefs, speaking truth to power, even when it threatens your social standing or livelihood. The third way to manifest courage is a psychological courage. This is where confronting personal vulnerabilities and facing inner demons or overcoming past drama. And the fourth way to manifest it is just everyday courage. It is the quiet, daily resilience that it takes to push through your hardships, to push through your struggles, to push through your pain, to push through your disappointments, to push through your depression, and try new things or ask for help. And so I think each and every one of us could definitely use some everyday courage. So finally, what does all this mean in the Joyful House? What does courage mean in the Joyful House? It means to step out of your comfort zone, to do that with boldness, to do that with faith, to dare yourself to be brave and resilient, to let the daily quiet fill you with strength so that every part of you believes that you can overcome anything and everything. You can do it. First off, you are enough. You are enough. So you need to tell yourself that, and then you need to pack in the courage, confront whatever you're going through, and decide that it is not going to define you. And fill your joy tank and live that joy. So that is what courage means in the Joyful House. So one more time, your joy word tonight is courage. All right. With that, it is time to chase our fun. And I had a lot of people that sent in some ways that they chase their fun. And we'll do that after we talk about tonight's Chasing Your Fun. But to start off with chasing our fun, and again, we are doing that with the help of Annie Downs and her book, Chase the Fun. And for this upcoming week, she is encouraging us to fall in love with quiet. And again, I chose our word courage long before I knew what chasing our fun was going to be. And it talked about being able to embrace the quietness of everyday life. But Annie says, fall in love with the quiet. And she got a quote from a man named Zig Ziglar. And he says, take time to be quiet. Now, before we go on, I want to share a little bit about Zig Ziglar. And it looks like I might have closed what I had open. So how glorious is that? But luckily, my history is pulling it right back up. I had an opportunity once to meet Zig Ziglar. And what an amazing man he was. He was every bit of everything he talked about and he wrote about. He exhumed positivity. He exhumed encouragement. He lived with such a harmonious personality and the environment. I mean, he didn't just suck the air out of the room. He literally filled it with so much positive vibes and just, I mean, pure happiness just surrounded him. Like it was hard to be in his presence and not smile. Now he's passed away quite some time ago. But I was trying to pull this back up. Let's see if I can get this pulled up. There is a quote, not this one, take time to be quiet, that he is most famous for. And this is what it is. And I think that this is so valuable. And again, it's going to come in with the last bit of spill the tea that I have for us tonight. But it says, you can have everything in life you want. But it's almost like there's a but. But because this man was so encouraging, there's no but. There's no but. He says, you can have everything in life you want if you will just help other people get what they want. And I believe in that. You guys, I wholeheartedly believe in that. I believe that if you try to bring happiness to others, happiness will find you. And I believe that. I believe if you bring positivity to others, positive things will find you. And so I fully agree with this man, not just because I met him, not just because he was there and was such a big influence and such a special time in my life. I met him when I was being recognized for some of the top sales in selling Mary Kay. But you didn't know that. I have mentioned it a time or two on the channel over the last 6 years. But yes, there was a time that I sold Mary Kay. And I was in some of the top sales and was being recognized. And I had an opportunity to meet him. And but what a great quote. No wonder it's popular. No wonder it's his most famous and frequently cited quote. You can have everything in life you want if you'll just help other people get what they want. And so it goes on. What is Zig Ziglar most famous for? Well, first off, he was a legendary American motivational speaker. He was a salesman. And he was an author, and he was best known for empowering philosophies on positive thinking, goal setting, and salesmanship. And of course, all three of those, but especially the goal setting and the salesmanship, was why and how I met him when I was selling Mary Kay. And so it was a very great time in my life. And there was a lot of different things that were going on that were trying to pull me under. I did eventually make the decision on my own to walk away from Mary Kay, but it came down to the fact that I chose my 3 boys over Mary Kay because it was very hard to continue that when by no choice of my own, I ended up having to be a single mom and spend a great deal of years fighting through custody battles. And so I needed to have a job that was a great job, but it was one that I was so successful in that I just couldn't keep up with the demands. And y'all know me, I don't like letting people down. I don't like disappointing. But at that point in time, I had to choose, in a sense, my children over fame and fortune. And so I made that decision. I thought I would go back to it, but you know what? Somebody put a ball of yarn and a hook in my hand. Well, actually at that time, a knitting needle. And well, I never thought again about Mary Kay. I never looked back. So here we are. So I guess it's a good thing I never got back involved in Mary Kay, because if I had, I definitely wouldn't be here then or now. All right. So that's who Zig Ziglar is. So let's get back to what we were talking about with fall in love with quiet. Annie says, if you and I are friends, this essay, this topic is already laughable to you. Annie is telling me to fall in love with quiet. Annie, the loudest friend I have. LOL. I know, but for many of us, the volume of our lives has less to do with the amount of words we say or how loud our voices can get. The volume of our lives is determined by how much of life we fill with sounds. None of the sounds are bad, probably. I mean, after all, music is wonderful. I love to listen and sing along and mean every word. And you can bet if I'm this loud of a talker, I'm even better at it when it comes to singing. Even now, as I'm writing, college basketball is on the television as my background noise. So that is what I'm currently hearing. But I've also opened social media a few times today, and those voices are loud. The podcast I play when I'm washing my face and the Netflix I put on while I'm making lunch, it's all loud. The articles I read, the apps I refresh, the calendar I keep, the news that doesn't stop, and the world that doesn't slow down, it's all up to me to decide how loud my life is going to be. In 2020, when a global pandemic stopped the world, my life got suddenly and literally quiet. I wasn't married, so I had no roommate at the time. And without the ability to visit and meet up for dinner with friends, my life got lonely and quiet. She goes on to say that those first few days were sad and scary and unlike anything that she had ever experienced. But then she said she turned off the television and she pulled out a puzzle out of the cabinet in her living room, and things slowly started to change in her life. She said, we spent months like this alone in our lives. And when the restrictions eased and we began going back out into the world, she says, I got asked the same questions in a lot of interviews. The same question, singular, in a lot of interviews. What did you learn in the pandemic? And the truth is, what I learned is to love the quiet. I can't believe that that is my big takeaway, but it is. The quiet in my calendar led to a quiet in my life. The quiet on my phone, my choice, she says, led to a quiet in my mind and my home. The more I chose the quiet, the more I loved it, the more I grew, and the more I rested. And I have to tell you that when I reread this last night to, make sure that I was fully prepared for today, I made the conscious choice after I had finished all my lives and I'd gotten off of whatever lives I was on. And I chose, before I went to go take my bath, to turn everything off. And I just sat here for a moment and I just crocheted in the absolute quietness. And there was lots of things that I could hear. I could hear Todd laughing at whatever was going on his computer. I could hear the clock ticking. And it's so funny. I never really paid attention that the clock ticks in here. But when I have everything turned off, I could actually hear it. And I could hear his mom's TV. But more importantly, I felt like I could hear my thoughts. And they seemed to calm. And it really was refreshing. So during this upcoming week that you have so graciously given me to take off from the channel, I plan to watch a little less TV. That includes my baseball. But I'm going to at least challenge myself, because, y'all, it's hard. It's hard, okay? Especially when my baseball happens almost every day. And those Braves games, I tell you what, they last at least 2 to 4 hours, but at least 1 hour a day. This doesn't include my quiet time. That doesn't count, because that's personal and sacred in itself. And I always love the quiet, especially when I'm praying for you guys. And I'm praying for your word of the year for you. So above and beyond that, I'm going to sit quietly for 1 hour. I might even, this will be even harder, sit there and not even do anything and just fully embrace the silence and let that calmness come over me. Read an article today. I know what stress does to us as diabetics, but the article I read said that some of the greatest increases of blood sugar levels is stress. And I know I've been stressing on this project I'm about to show y'all. And my sugar levels have been a little bit higher than they need to be. But it's funny because when I went to bed last night, my sugars had been up in the upper to mid 200s all day yesterday. When I went to bed after I had that moment of quietness and then I went and took my bath, when I went to bed, my sugar was 119. So it goes to prove that mentally it is healthy if we take those moments to embrace the quiet, to embrace the silence. So I agree with Zig. I agree with Annie. And I definitely agree with that diabetic article I read today. My sugar has been no higher than 130 today. So the only time I've had anything on in here today was my 2 play dates. Other than that, I've sat in complete silence all day and crocheted and worked on my projects. And I am amazed. I am wowed. And I knew that stress was a factor. But until you make yourself do something and see the results, it's hard to make yourself a believer. So I'm going to start with 1 hour a day. And when I make that a habit, a conscientious habit, then I'm going to try increasing it to 2 hours. And then I might actually pick a day of the week where I watch no TV, no videos, no YouTube. And I just function in quiet and see what that does. Now, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm challenging you, but I'm definitely going to do it because I know that I need to make some changes. And I am just hands down shocked at the truth that comes into that. So, wrapping this up, here's your challenge. Chase the fun. How can you make your life a little quieter? Take one action step toward the quiet in some part of your life over the next coming week. And technically you have 2 weeks because we won't be meeting next Thursday since it's the week you allow me to have off. So it'll be 2 weeks before we come back to our next tea party. So try to incorporate a little bit of quiet in your life over the next 2 weeks. All right, let me check the chat, and then we're gonna play some videos of where some folks sent in chasing their fun, and I appreciate them doing this. I have thoroughly enjoyed this, and then I have one myself where I get to share with you some pictures of my granddaughters graduating from 3 and 4K. So I was pleasantly surprised to receive those, and I am excited to share them with you. And I want to thank all my friends who dropped those emojis because I have found my way right back into the chat. And with that, hello, Laura. I know that you are not home. You are still in Halifax, as she's saying. Hi, Cynthia in chat. Last night in Halifax. So good to see you. Praying for safe travels tomorrow. And, well, I think you're heading to, is it an aunt and uncle's house first, though? And then heading home on Monday, is that right? Or did y'all change that schedule? Because I had that you were coming home on June the 1st. So I will definitely be praying either way for your safe travels home. So good to see you. Hope everything went well with the celebration for your dad. She had her dad's funeral this week. That's why she's there. So, and Suzanne says, you're in Nova Scotia, Laura. It's a nice place to visit. She has a lot of family there. And like I was sharing, they did her dad's funeral. You guys, let's try this tea. I can definitely hold the mug. So are you ready? Oolong tea. Very woodsy. That's a good word for it. I might have to add just a little bit of sweetener to it. It's a little on the strong side, and I'm sure that's the caffeine in it. I'm so used to not drinking caffeine, but it's not bad. It's just something that I'm not used to, accustomed to, but hey, I'm all for anything that'll help boost my metabolism and my mental health, my memory for sure. All right. So that is our tea. The next tea party is 2 weeks from tonight. That would be that would be June the 11th. So June the 11th is our next tea party. That's 2 weeks from tonight. Yes, thank you, Dawn. In 2 weeks on June the 11th. All right. Terry says, yes, Cynthia, you got a bath spa moment. Yes, I did. With lots and lots of Epsom salt, y'all. Lots and lots of Epsom salt. And it was nice. It was nice. Yes, yes. All right. Thank you guys for saying hello to Laura. She said, should be home June 1st or the 2nd. Awesome. Well, I will definitely be praying for those safe travels, my friend. The tea tonight was an oolong tea, Terry. It was by Twinings. And it's got a little bit of caffeine in it. And depending on what type of oolong tea you're drinking, it can have a little bit of caffeine that falls on your green tea side, or it could have a lot of caffeine. But most oolong teas don't have any more than 30 to 60 milligrams of caffeine in it, which would fall in your black teas, or it said the equivalence of like a robust coffee, which a robust coffee has a lot of caffeine. I cannot drink robust coffee. Todd loves robust coffee. I'm kind of that girl that likes a little bit of coffee with my cream. So, well, then I will check it out, Samantha. I answered one of them already, but I don't think it was today. I think it was yesterday. So if it came in after 1:30, I haven't caught it. I usually try to do my emails in the morning, and then once lunchtime comes, I don't look at them again, usually until the next day, unless it's something where someone needs a link for an event that night. All right. Oh, you sent it tonight? Okay. I probably honestly won't look at it till in the morning. All right. Laura says, I'm going to bed, have an early start to my uncle's cottage. Enjoy your time with your family. And again, safe trips, my friend. Can't wait to see you safely back at home. All right, let's go take a look at this poll. Let's see. All right, we've got 13% of you on this poll here in the chat said tomato, 40% said cucumber, now 13% said tuna, and 33% said deviled egg. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. And let me pull the answer up. And it should be very close to publishing. But actually, I'm going to refresh my screen because it should have published actually. Oh, not yet. It hasn't. Okay. Oh, while I'm doing that, I almost forgot. How could I do that? You guys, here are some folks sharing themselves, chasing the fun. First one up is Miss Bridget. Here we go. Thank you, Bridget, for sending this in. love camping, Miss Bridget. And look at that beautiful yarn you got. Thank you so much for sharing. This one is Miss Sonja chasing her fun. Thank you, Sonja, for sharing. Oh, wasn't that some beautiful scenery? And I love that they have that canopy over their gravesides. That is so awesome. And this is Miss Tiffany sending in Chasing Her Fun with her little furry family member, Mr. Leo. Pretty baby. All right, next, and thank you, Tiffany, for sending that in. And next is Miss Wanda. She sent in Chasing Her Fun, sharing with us some of her garden yummies and her herbs and plants. So here we go. Look at those scallions. I love me a good green tail. Miss Terry, thank you so much for loving on Laura and wishing her safe travels. Suzanne Wright, both Bridget's and Sonja's sceneries are very, very peaceful. And yes, Miss Sadie girl is in here with me. She has been like attached to me lately. Candy can testify during our play date today. I thought she wanted to go outside, so I went to take her outside. But the truth of the matter is I had one door to the studio open and one closed, and she just wanted a full invitation to come in here. So when I came back in from taking her out, she laid down on the floor and went to sleep for the rest of our play date. Right? Very beautiful scenery. And Jen says, tomatoes for a yummy sandwich, right? All right. Last Chasing the Fun is my granddaughters graduating from their 3 and 4K. And just wanted to share, because when I was talking on the phone with someone the other day, they were like, I thought she was older than that. She is. But if you are not familiar, her birthday is the day before Thanksgiving. So she misses the cutoff date. So she has to start school later than her age group because of that late birth date. So she is 5, but she was in the 4K program. And both girls graduated. And I was a proud grandma, or lolly, as we like to call it, to receive those pictures. So I'm very grateful that I was able to get them. All right. Our poll question. Which is my least favorite sandwich? Is it tomato, cucumber, tuna, or deviled egg? My least favorite is one of my husband's favorite. Are y'all ready? Check it on the chat. Margie says your granddaughters are so big now, right? I know, they're growing up. Todd and I are going to try and see if we can set up a play date in the yard with them, and have bring a slip and slide and some bubbles and help them try to get to know us, because it's now been 15 months since they last saw us. And then hopefully we can go from there with little day outings until they know us well enough to hopefully do some overnights. But anyway, Wanda says it's going to be difficult to decide between fried green tomatoes and a tomato sandwich first. Oh my gosh, those are both good. Yes. If you haven't figured out, I'm dropping a little bit of apples already. Okay. Thank you so much, Suzanne. Thank you. Nice, relaxing. Congratulations to the grands. Thank you so much. Thank you, Samantha. Okay. Without further ado, the answer is deviled egg is my least favorite. My least favorite. Now, I do like eggs. And as y'all know from a poll, I really prefer my eggs sunny side up. And I do love a good hard-boiled egg, and I love deviled eggs, but I'm really a deviled egg sandwich would be my least favorite. It would be the last one that I would choose. It would be a toss-up between that and a chicken salad sandwich. My husband loves deviled egg sandwiches. He loves a chicken salad sandwich. They would be my least favorite. They would be the last ones I would choose. But out of those 4, my all-time favorite is going to shock some of you. And it is a tomato sandwich. I love a good tomato and cucumber sandwich. Tomato and cucumber are they are balanced on the scale. But I do like them with a good mayo and a little bit of salt and a lot of pepper. When I say a lot of pepper, I don't mean it looks like I've dumped dirt on it, but I'm not a big salt eater. But anyway, oh my gosh, I love a good tomato and cucumber sandwich. So through and through. And I do love tuna fish, but I do like pickles in my tuna fish. So, but yes. So, all right. Let me see what your comments are. Samantha says, I got it right. Awesome. Awesome. Suzanne says, me too. Not a fan of mayo-based anything in a sandwich. I do like the tuna fish, though, but I'm not a fan of the deviled egg or the chicken salad. And, Todd could just live off of those. Hello, sweet Zach. Welcome in, my friend. So good to see you. Welcome to the Joyful House. Samantha says, I got it right on the community tab and in the chat. Awesome, awesome. Thank you guys for loving on Mr. Zach as he came in. And he says, I love tomato sandwiches. Yes, they are good. They are good. I cannot pick one between the tomato and the cucumber. I equally like them both. So that was a fun poll. I really enjoyed that. And I love seeing y'all's answers. So anyway, all right. Last little bit of things. I'm going to finish the last spill the tea. And then we're going to move on to what is on my hook and share community makes. And then we're going to be heading out. I'm not going to make a big deal out of this, but the last thing I want to share is, and I'm really sad that this is kind of at the end because I think some folks have had to leave already. But if it's meant to be for you to hear it, you're going to hear it. First off, as many of you know, I have been running my YouTube channel for 6 years as of March the 4th of this year. And with that, I can pretty much say that without the exception of one little event, when I first started, we had those trolls that would run through. I had a troll that came in and wreaked some havoc. But other than that, I've never had drama. And I'm very grateful for that. And because of that, I have to say thank you to all of you. I'm very blessed that we've not had drama here in the Joyful House. But with that being said, whether you just check it out at the welcome mat before you come in, I don't know. But that's kind of the rule anyway. But there's a lot of drama going on in our community. And I'm just going to tell you, even though it doesn't reflect on me, or it's about me, or it's here in the Joyful House, it makes me sad. And the reason it makes me sad is because some of that drama is about people I love and care about. And I'm just going to be real with you for a moment. I try to bring encouraging, uplifting content everywhere I go, whether it's on YouTube, in life, in my own family. I really try to live a life that truly inspires, motivates, and more than anything, uplifts others. And when I see some of this drama, it just hurts me to the core, because we're grown people. And sometimes some of the people stirring the drama are older than me. And I'm like, you're the women and men that I'm to look up to. You are my elders. I'm supposed to respect you, and I am supposed to honor you. And quite frankly, you're acting foolish and hateful. And I'm going to tell y'all something. When I died and left this world and God brought me back, and after 8 minutes, there was no brain damage, no major consequences of it, I made a vow to him that I would never, and I know it's hard because we are not perfect people, but that I would never stand by and watch somebody get hurt. I would never watch somebody be degraded by another individual, including myself. And it hurts me. Even if I don't see it and I hear about it, it hurts me. So first off, I want to say thank you that you do check it out at the welcome mat and you don't bring it in, because there's nothing joyful about that drama. But this is the second thing I want to tell you, is when somebody makes the decision to cross the welcome mat and come into the Joyful House, they are accepted. I don't care what they've done. I don't care what they've said. I mean, I do to an extent, but you get the point of what I'm saying. They are welcomed. They are loved. They are respected. They are seen, and they are heard. They are a human being whose heart bumps just like mine. They are a human being whose blood runs through their veins the same way it does mine. I'm not perfect by any means. So I don't expect someone to cross that welcome mat and be perfect. I've already heard that if I love on somebody and you didn't have beef with me, you now have beef with me. Well, you can just have beef with me, because when I got a second chance in this world, I went to every person that I felt that I needed to apologize to, and I made things right. I apologized to people that really should have apologized to me, but I sucked it up and apologized to them and took responsibility for them in order to make peace. My decision here in the Joyful House is I'm going to love everybody and anybody. And if that goes against your morals or your code or your negativity or your feelings, then you have two choices. You can either check it out at the welcome mat before coming in, or don't even cross the welcome mat. Because if you have beef with somebody, I'm not going to have beef with them just because you do. I'm going to love them. There are people who've come into the Joyful House who've done me wrong, and you have never seen me treat them any different than I treat any of you, because that's not who I am. I have made the choice to love. I've made the choice to love people and not what they do. Because if I were loved by what I did and said at times, no one would love me. And I am so grateful that flaws, warts, and all, you guys love me and give me grace. And I'm going to reciprocate that. And sometimes those out there causing the drama and are being bullies, they're the people who need to be loved the most. They're doing it because they can't find love in the right places. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm a saint, but I'm going to love them. But if you want to hate on me because I love somebody that you don't like or you had beef with, then you're in the wrong house. Because I'm going to love each person that consciously makes an effort to walk across that welcome mat. Everybody is welcome here. Your drama does not belong here. Now, if you want to get in touch with me personally and share your side of the story, you're welcome to. But I really pray that you're getting in touch with me and asking me to pray for the situation. I'm not going to take a side. But the biggest message I want to say is, y'all, life is too short. So please search within inside yourself and ask yourself why you're really upset with someone. Is it really worth it? Is it worth bringing that negativity into your life and filling your priceless minutes and moments with drama? Your life is more valuable than that. Your health is more valuable than that. And then if you have a problem with someone, be the grown person you are. I almost swore right there, y'all. That's how passionate I am about this. Go to that person. Don't go in somebody else's live and stir up trouble. I'm going to tell you, as a content creator, and I can only speak for myself, I work hard. I work hard to be consistent. I work hard to bring you content week after week at the right time. Now, sometimes I'm late on content, but I work hard every week. And if someone were to show up in one of my lives and just start bringing in drama, I'm going to be upset because I've worked too hard to come in here and bring stuff. And yeah, sometimes I show up and we're just lazy and have fun and work on our craft projects. And I didn't put a lot into that except for setting up the live, and that takes nothing. But I still don't want to sit and deal with a bunch of drama. I want to come in here and have fun. Now, there's some stuff going on, and I don't fully understand and know what all the if, ands, and dotting I's and crossing T's are. And that's my choice. I don't want to know. But I am going to tell you this. You're talking about people that I love and care about. And that means everybody. So if you got something ugly to say, please either go to that person and make it right to better both your lives, or just shut your mouth. I know I'm being harsh, especially when this drama is not in my house. But it hurts me to see stuff being said about people. I'm not perfect, and I know I've said things at times that I shouldn't have, but I'm working on that. That's part of the reason that I started this thing about everybody finding their one word to represent this year. And I've committed to praying for that person and their one word. We're getting ready to go into the 6th month, half a year now. I've been praying for them and their one word. I pray if it's better communication, that they've got better communication in their life. If it's peace, that they're finding the peace they need. If it's harmony, they're finding harmony. Like me, my word is expectant. I cannot expect things of others that I am not expecting myself to stand up for. I just want us to love each other. We have a beautiful, beautiful community. We have this amazing platform that even as content creators, anybody that pushes play does not have to pay for. And yes, we have freedom of speech, but God also gave us a mind. And garbage in is garbage out. And if that's the kind of life you want to live, that's your choice. But go live it in your little world. That's probably the most negative anything you'll hear from me, but it's not negative. I'm saying this in love, you guys. Todd and I talk often. That moment I took my last breath that day, I was laughing. I was in a good place. Not so much health-wise, but coming back, one of the greatest things I was most grateful for was the fact that that's not how I left this world. Like, I hadn't spoken to my kids in a couple days. I mean, I could have left here and they'd have had no closure, nothing, no even expectancy. But God gave me another chance. How dare I not give other people chances? And most of you are probably more perfect of a person than I am. So I'm just asking you, be kind to one another. Because honestly, we truly never know what someone is going through. I've learned some things about some people in my playdates this week, and I've been having playdates with them for 2 years now. And I learned some things about them just today. And you know who you are. I learned some things about you. And again, that's shame on me. I've known that person longer than 2 years. But I've been having these intimate personal playdates with them for 2 years. And I just learned something intimate about their life today. I'm not saying it was a bad thing I learned. But to know that they went through something like that. And it's not my business to know. It doesn't change our relationship. But it made me love them even more. I'm just not taking this second chance like a leaf blowing in the wind. I know that I'm here for a meaning and a purpose, and maybe it's this right here. Maybe it's not just about all the warm fuzzies and giving all the words of encouragement and the joy words and the little good feelies of chasing our fun. Maybe I'm here to drill it into people. Love yourself so you can learn to love others. Because the bottom line is if there's just ugliness in your mouth, that means that your heart is empty, your heart is broken, and you can't even love yourself. And you're enough. You're enough just the way you are. You were born enough. You are somebody. My own child one time said that it broke their heart that they were nobody to their grandparents until they became a Marine, and then they were somebody. And I said, oh no, baby. The day you took your first breath, you were everything. Don't you ever let anyone convince you otherwise or give you a different message. You were everything the moment you took your first breath. My friends, you were everything the moment you took your first breath. And I don't care if you've been on this earth 19 years, 30 years, 50 years, 70 years, 100 years. You are everything. Don't let anyone convince you different. And if you don't think that about yourself, it is time for you to spend some quiet time getting to know yourself, learning to love yourself, and then learning to look at people with a whole different set of eyes. And I didn't mean to get on a soapbox this long, but this is something I'm passionate about. Again, nobody said anything ugly to me. The drama's not in my house. But when I go somewhere else and I see it, my first thought is to run. Oh, it's time for me to leave. But that's not fair to the hostess. And that's not fair to everybody else. Now, I may not stand up and say something because it's not my live. But I don't know. I might start reaching out and being bold and reaching out to those people and saying, you need to check yourself. Let's talk about, let's pray about what you're so angry about. Because some of this stuff that's causing some of this drama is, I'm just going to call it for what it is. It is foolishness and it is ridiculous. Some of the greatest friends I have in life are right here on YouTube. And that's sad because I got a lot of personal friends that I could reach out and physically touch. But they are nowhere near the friends that I have here on YouTube. And so many times, and when I heard about some of this drama just a couple days ago, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be a part of this. And the best way for me not to be a part of it is just to walk away from YouTube. But that's not the right thing to do. Besides, my husband's already told me he could not love the woman that I would be if I walked away from my channel. So Mr. Joyful says that that's out of the question. And then in my quiet time, God says, don't you dare. I opened that door for a reason. So if you were one that needed to hear that message, I hope you'll love yourself and you'll love the people that God has placed in your life. Because I promise you, no one has entered your life without a purpose. And if you're one that is spitting just ugly stuff about somebody, please look in the mirror. The next time you start spitting those words, please look at yourself in the mirror. Because I can promise you it ain't nothing but ugliness. And you are far more than ugly. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You just got to find that beauty within inside of yourself. Now, I know I can't change the world, but I sure will start with one word, one speech, one action, and a forgiveness. And I'm sorry if I have to. I thought I crossed somebody today, as a matter of fact, and I immediately reached out in the middle of a live and I said, I am so sorry if I just hurt your feelings. And they were like, oh, no, I lost connection. Because that's how important it is. And you don't have to die and leave this world to give yourself and others a second chance. You can just make that decision today. Now, speaking of second chances, oh my gosh, you guys, if I don't get this project off my hook, I'm going to scream. But before I show you that and we start wrapping up the evening, I do want to go check out your comments because, like I said, you are seen and heard here. So I want to back up and give you guys a chance to speak. All right. Miss Wanda says, oh, Zach was saying on his tomato sandwiches, the bread has to be toasted. Do you know, I'm not, oh, maybe I should. Okay. I'm not going to give that. I'm going to write that down real quick and I'm going to make that a poll. I'm going to make that a poll. I'm running out of polls anyway, so I need ideas. If y'all think of an idea, I'd love to have them for the polls. Miss Wanda says, I don't think I've ever had a cucumber sandwich. Oh my gosh. If you like tomato sandwiches, y'all got to try cucumbers. Same way, a little bit of mayo, a little bit of salt and pepper. Yummy, yummy. What about the program? What does that mean, Samantha? I'm so sorry. I know this is way back, about 20 minutes ago. What do you mean by that, love? Yes, we are here for joy, and not just in the Joy House. You guys, please go find your joy. You're supposed to be living your joy. You're supposed to be living your best life. We never know when that last breath will be. So live it like it is your last. Zach says next Wednesday is my lung scar, maybe your lung scar appointment. Let us know how that scan, not scar, your lung scan. Got you. Well, definitely let us know how that goes. You said next Wednesday, lung scan. All right. Thank you for letting us know that. I never say drama to you on our playlist or in the live stream, or you do not. Like I said, I've been fortunate. It's not here. And I do want to move past this and start wrapping this up. We've gone a lot longer than I intended, but it needed to be said because it's stirring out there. So me neither, my friend. Far from it. Exactly. I will never. None of us will. Okay. Jen says, I've needed to hear this. Thank you. You're welcome. Yes, Dawn. Everyone needs grace. And we all need that reminder. Not just to have courage, not just to chase our fun. We all need to be reminded that, we don't always see what someone's carrying. We don't always see what somebody's going through. And, the littlest things can set us off. And when we go back and look, like today, I said something, I was a little sharp on the tongue, and I didn't mean for it to be sharp. And it turns out that it wasn't taken that way. It wasn't perceived that way. But the truth of the matter is, when I checked myself before reaching out to that person saying, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, and they said, oh no, they lost internet connection. The truth of the matter is, I was trying to hurry through something so I could go eat. And the bottom line was I needed to eat. But it wasn't that person's fault. But I'm glad that it was okay. And I'm glad that they didn't take it that way. But the importance of making sure that everything was good. It's important. Well, then I'm glad. I'm glad that the ears that needed to hear it were here. We all needed to hear it, though, whether we want to admit it or not. We can pray for those who are troubled, even if we may not agree with their actions, even if we no longer trust them. Absolutely, Suzanne. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. All right. Let's see. Trying to surround myself with reality. And when we do that, Margie, we're going to find that life is just so much more harmonious. We'll be happier. Oh, excuse me. That was Dawn that said that. I apologize. That was Dawn that said that, not Margie. So true, Dawn. So true. All right. And this, I agree with Margie. We should be building each other up. We should be. So we all do, Samantha, and we need to give ourselves grace, and we need to give each other grace. You need to let them go. Don't let them bottle up, because that's why we end up exploding. I used to hit my grandparents all the time because I got mad at them, but I am controlling my anger and frustration because they say mean words to me sometimes, and I hear they say mean words to me sometimes, and I hear everything they say. And that's a conscious effort. And I'm so proud of you. Kudos to you, because some of us, we do have a hard time controlling our anger. And just because somebody says something about us doesn't mean it's true. But the enemy wants us to believe. He wants us to feel the sting of that hurt and pain and wants us to react to it. But I've said it before, in management, learning how to talk low to get somebody to quit yelling, learning to stay calm diffuses the wick of the bomb that's been ignited, you know, because people will end up mimicking you, but it's a conscious effort and we have to work at it. And for me, every day, I have to get up and tell myself I'm enough. Y'all don't know how many times I go to come on here and I don't want to come on because I feel like I'm not enough, you know? Even silly things. I started to say stupid, but stupid's always been a bad word in our house. Silly little things like, you know, when I had a reaction to my medication, I broke out with these bumps all over my body. Well, that's fine. You can't see them. But when it broke out on my face, which you can't see because I did cover it up with makeup. But if I go to come on and the makeup won't cover it up, I want to not come on. But if you go back and look at the last couple of videos and lives, you can see it because I made the effort. That's just vanity. Y'all aren't here about the bump that's on my face. You're here because of what I'm bringing, the content that we're sharing together. You're here because you want to be together. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us together. But so many times I tell myself I'm not good enough. And so every morning I'm waking up and saying, you're enough. And if I want to fuss about somebody for something they did, not flushing the toilet, leaving their wet clothes in the washing machine for a week and my washing machine smelling awful, I'm learning to take a deep breath and say, hey, are you ready to get your clothes out of the washing machine? Because now we got to pre-treat it because it smells like mold. I'm learning, but I can't expect the people around me to behave that way if I'm blowing up all the time. So Samantha, I'm proud of you. That was bold and that was courageous. Our word there, courageous of you to share what you shared. And that's what I want. I want this to be a safe place. And I'm sure every other content creator does too. Now, I know there's some people, they live for drama. That's what makes them happy. That's what makes their world go round and round. But that doesn't mean that we in the chat can't set the precedence. We can't help alter that atmosphere and help that person see that they're enough and that they are valuable just as they are, that they don't need all that drama. And sometimes we can't. Maybe we're not called to be the one to put that fire out. But we can sure help put the fire out by not participating. That's the hard part, is not jumping in and having an opinion and participating. But anyway, like I said, I'm ready to move on past this. We've spent enough time on this subject. So, all right. We are friends, my beautiful friend. We are. Wanda says, as far as the bread being toasted, it depends on the sandwich. I am not going to comment because I'm going to make that a poll in the future. All right. Wanda said, I'll never understand why people have to cause drama and problems anywhere. Exactly. I got enough drama on my crochet hook, my friends. On my crochet hook, I have enough drama. I don't need any more. All right. Angela says, Cynthia put Kayla on the prayer list. She's losing. Oh, no. That's Kayla Mama Llama. Oh, Angela, thank you for letting me know. She don't have many more fingers left to lose, bless her heart. Joan says, prayers for all those who need them and don't think they do. Thank you for that. All right. I'm going to try to get down to the bottom. I learned so much from you, Cynthia. I appreciate. Thank you, Tiff. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate that more than you know. Sorry to leave in the middle of this. I love you all. Y'all, my camera's in the way from the mess. I love you all, and you are all why I come here. So sweet. She's so sweet. All right. She says, have a beautiful night. And remember, if you're feeling down, look up. And she knows this because I bring it up all the time. I look forward to that. I look forward to Dawn being in the live because I know that's coming. I know that's coming. Those words right there. And I know that she means them. So I know she's probably gone now, but I thank her. I thank her for the light that she lights up in the Joyful House and in the chat. All right. Good night, Samantha. Thank you for coming. See you tomorrow night. Candy says, I'm off to bed. I open at 8. Well, we are about to get off. Let me get this stuff finished and show this video. And I'm so sorry for running over like I did. Okay. All right. So I told y'all on my hook, I had, as you know, I've made the 2 sweaters, one for Todd and one for his mom. Then I made this newborn sweater in the, medium weight 4 yarn. Then I turned around and made the size 6 sweater. Well, as you know, I'm now working on the plus size of the Joy sweater. And when this is done, it was supposed to be the last sweater. Well, on these sweaters on the adults, if you look, they're made in a circular, so they're made in a round. Whereas these, you can see better on this bigger one, they have the 4 points of the yoke where you do the stitch, chain 1 stitch, and you create the 4 corners to make a rectangle yoke. And then you can see it because the seam, which this one doesn't seem to be so bad, but the seam runs down it. I don't know if y'all can even see that. But clearly you can see a little bit of a seam running from the body of the sweater to the sleeve there. Whereas you're not going to see that in this one because it doesn't have the 4 points. It's just a complete round. And I love that. So when I was writing the pattern out for the little people Joy sweater, I was like, I really wish the little people sweater was made exactly like the big people sweater. So even though I have this pattern written out, creating the yoke with the 4 points, I've decided to take the formula of this and I'm going to put it away and create another sweater down the road with a stitch that I haven't created. So I started rewriting it to form the sweater and to form it in a 3-weight versus a 4-weight in the round. So 2 things were happening here. I was not only rewriting the pattern so that it's not made with 4 points, but it's made with a round, but also that there'll be 2. There'll be one with a 4-weight yarn and one with a 3-weight yarn. You guys, I've been working on this for a week now. And as you can see, I haven't even finished this one. So I'm still working on the pattern in my notebook. But I think I finally have it written. So basically right now, I have 4 sweater designs written out. I have this problem of fixing what is not broke. But I am happy that I redid it because I do want the kiddo sweaters to match the adult sweaters. That way, if someone decides they want to make a set of sweaters for a family, that they have basically the same concept. And then, like I said, the 3 and 4 weight patterns that I've written with the 4 points, I'll just create another sweater down the road with that formula because I've already done all the work. I just got to find a stitch and plug a stitch in, right? So that'll be fun. But in the meantime, I have spent a lot of time working on this that I could have been working on other stuff and should have been working on other stuff. Like I got a slumber party in October to get ready for y'all. But I'm having fun with this. Don't get me wrong. So in the meantime, if you've been watching Crafts of the Heart, with this one, I decided that I needed to take some rows out, and I did that, and I started doing the ribbing for the waist, and then come to looking at it and then trying it on, it was way too short. Again, why did I do that? Why did I fix something? I had already made 2 sweaters in the adult sizes and it worked perfectly. Why did I do that? That's what I need to work on. That's the drama that I need to work on. So I ended up pulling the ribbing out and I put those rows back in. And I'm glad I did, because now it is the length that it needs to be. And then when I put that ribbing on it, it's going to be perfect. So that's my project to work on before next week's Crafts of the Heart. But anyway, so in the meantime, I have decided to work on a couple sweaters. So I'm going to be working on them on my week off. So hopefully I'll have those done and be able to show them to you. I better have them done. It is time to move on from this. I'm just going to say I've spent too much time. But so I have started working on another sweater. I'm using this Red Heart bright stripe. So it's got all kinds of colors in it. This is what I have right now, a hot mess, because last night on a play date, I started making the collar and then I started the sweater. But again, I don't know why I do this. When something works, why not just stay with it? But I chose to go up a hook size. And when I did that, I knew it wasn't right, but I kept going and I started creating the sweater, started making the body of the sweater. And I was just like, Cynthia, that's not right. So I frogged it. So that's why I've got this hot mess. And on a play date today, I started it over. So I am planning on making a child size 12 in the 4-weight. And then I'll make another sweater after I finish this one in a 3-weight. And at that point in time, I will make any tweaks I need to the pattern. And then I will have it ready for anyone who wants to test these sweaters for me. You can choose between the kiddos, which is a newborn to a 12-year-old, or you can choose between the adult, which is a small to a 5X. But anyway, I've already got, for sure, 3 testers. And so I've got 2 for the kiddos and 1 for the adult. So if I can get, 2 or 3 more, maybe 1 more for the kiddos, or at least 2 more for the adults, I'll be happy. But nonetheless, I'm excited about the 3 that are willing to test it. This is the first time I've ever asked anyone to test a pattern. I've just done it, typed it up, and boom, had it there. So I'm honored that anybody would even consider it. But that is the hot mess that's been on my hook. And I say it like that, and I say it dramatically, but I have had fun. It's just I've neglected other things. But as of today, I am caught up on everything else. So I am able to gracefully give myself time to work on this between now and Monday. So this is the only project I have to worry about. Then Monday, I do need to spend my time on this so I can get that video recorded for Wednesday. And then after that, I'm free to start a new one or keep working on Stranger Things, which I have been doing. But honestly, over the last week, I've not touched Stranger Things because this is all I've been sleeping, and breathing and crocheting. So with that, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this adventure will finish up. But I'm ready to get it off my hook and move on to other things. All right. Let's see. Thank you, Suzanne. She says, wow, Cynthia, that is amazing. Margie says, I'm looking forward to test the pattern for the newborn size. So Margie is one of my pattern testers for the kiddos. Suzanne says you like the sweater without the ribbing. Well, I appreciate that. Let's see. All right. With that, you guys, the only other thing I have for you, if you're still here, I appreciate it, is those that turned in stuff for this week and shared their makes with us. And again, in the description box below, or the information box, however you want to call it, anyone that shared Chasing Their Fun or a community make are listed in that box. So with their channels. So I thank all of them and appreciate them. We do have to head over to the party room for me to be able to share that video because it was too large. I ran out of space in the tea room. So let me head over there, and here you go. Enjoy. That is not cool. That is not cool that it is cut off like that. I hope the whole video is not like that. We'll give it a go and see. If for some reason it's cut off like that first part was, then I will work on fixing it and I'll have it for next time. Because these people worked hard. They deserve to have their stuff shown. Here we go. All right. I don't know why that video messed up. And the only part you didn't get to see, and kind of with it messing up, it enhanced the picture of everybody's make. So you got to see them a little bit clearer. So that was cool. But the only ones you didn't get to see were mine. And it was Grandma Anna's hat that I made for her. So real quickly, I'm going to go open that folder up and I can show you her hat. But oh my gosh, you guys, those candles that Bridget's making, those are absolutely gorgeous and amazing. And the detail that she puts into them is just stunning. Shirley's blanket with that tiger. Oh my goodness. The work, you guys, the work she puts into those is just, oh my gosh, absolutely just mind-blowing. And of course, you got to see Miss Vicki's keychains that she's making of the plants, and then Miss Wanda and her market bag, and she's making a second one, she said. So thankful for them sending in those pictures. All right. Of course, that's not going to be easy. I might just need to include these in the next one. That's what I'll do. I'll just include Grandma Anna's hat in the next video, in the next live. Because when I open them, they're so enhanced. I'd have to sit and fix the pixels and stuff, so I'm not going to do that. So I'll just share Grandma Anna's hat that I made for her next time. All right, well, let me check on the chat, and then we're going to wrap this up. You guys, thank you so much for being here 2.5 hours with me. I would say I'm sorry, but I've loved every minute of it, so I'm not going to apologize for having fun. Not going to apologize for having fun, right? Her bag is amazing. She did a great, great job. They are. Everyone loves your bag, Wanda. And Margie says everyone's makes were amazing. They did. Jen wants to know, Wanda, where is that pattern from? They did, Terry. They did. Wanda says thank you. And she says she also enjoyed everyone's make. And then Suzanne says, tell us what type of yarn is in the bag, please. They did, Jen. They did, Angela. Everyone did an awesome job. All right. Well, we'll give Miss Wanda an opportunity to share if that's a free pattern. I think she bought that pattern. I think she told me she purchased that pattern. But hopefully she can confirm it. All right. Jen, I sent you a message with the link. That's right. It's at Brianna K's market bag. She has 3 sizes. And what type of yarn did you use, Wanda? Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Oh, now I like that tea with it being a little bit cooler, but it's still very, very strong. Very, very strong. And Jen says, what size is yours, Wanda? And Wanda, if you don't mind, I would love to have the link to that bag as well. Brianna K makes some beautiful stuff. I've bought some of Brianna's patterns that eventually will be Crafts of the Heart projects because, like I said, I bought them and never made them. And what Nightbot said, nugs and joy to all those who are silently visiting. All right, she says the brown is Lion Brand made with love, color hot cocoa. And the other one is a Caron cotton cakes, color beach glass. Both are 60% cotton and 40% acrylic. Nice. I'm going to leave that up there for a moment. And Wanda, there was one more question. Which size of the bag of the 3 sizes did you make? You're so welcome, Miss Suzanne. For anyone that needs to go, we are done. I'm just going to get that size from Miss Wanda, and then we're gonna head on out. She said, Jen, I used a smaller hook than what she calls for, and she made the large one. So thank you, Wanda, for sharing all of that. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I do hope that you had a great time. and enjoyed yourself. I do pray that you always find the joy in everything you do. Chase your joy, live your joy. And again, we'll meet again in 2 weeks from tonight. So our next tea party will be in 2 weeks. I believe that is June the 11th. Yes, that is June the 11th. And until then, and I hope you'll come see us tomorrow night. Got Bible chats tomorrow afternoon and movie night tomorrow night. So I hope you'll come join us for some fun. All right. Until next time, be joyful. Stay crafty in your own way. Make your own joyful creations. Be the joy in everything you do and live your joy. Mwah. I love y'all so much. Nugs and joy. See you next time.